Hey, good morning, everyone. I think we're live here. Just gonna make sure of that, and then we'll start talking. No countdown today. It's time to jump right into things. All right. I've got the coffee flowing. We are ready to roll here, and storms are already popping up. So, we're not going to do the traditional kind of forecast today. We're going to go right into the radar. We're going to look at some of the threats. Actually, the SPC updated outlook should be out, and nothing much has changed. I'll have to read that discussion in a bit, but we already have some pretty stout looking thunderstorms. In fact, I had not finished things up quite yet, but I wanted to hop on and start yapping here first. So let me do one thing. I'm going to go in and add all my cameras to this. So that's in here. Cameras, there they are. Insert all those. And then we'll take a look out at the cameras and all that stuff. We're also going to be looking to see the severe threat, which the entire area is under a moderate risk for today. But I did want to look, just see something real quick on... Actually, look west on the Alexandria camera. Where are you going? There you go. Okay, Rapides Hospital, I believe that one is down right now. It's foggy, so we're not seeing a thing out there at this stage of the game. I'm just checking around here. Yeah, everyone's still in the fog, so the main story is going to be told by radar this morning. And yeah, the story right now is we have some storms that are starting to already take on supercellular characteristics. We're going to take that 383 lightning strikes already in that map view. Let's see what these few storms here are doing. We get that one out of there, 92. Yeah, so we're getting a lot of lightning out of these already, and you can kind of see that shape to these storms. So I'm going to take the lightning off, and we're going to take a look at velocity. Actually, let's put these in motion first. So they've really kind of looked ragged, but you can see how these go from ragged and not much to kind of rock solid looking here. So, and they're getting that shape, that supercellular shape. So that is what got me out of the bed. I was just looking at the, weather updates and things in there. I said, okay, it's time to run in the front room. It took me a couple of seconds to go live. I love how this setup works. So, yeah, that storm moving up toward Colfax and Boyce is starting to get the look. This one coming in toward Union Hill also getting the look. And then this one down here just south of DeRidder into central Beauregard Parish, that one also starting to get that look. So this is starting pretty much on cue as expected. Let's look at velocity here. And you can see, a little something going on in there. This is... see that cell up here. I'm not seeing much there. Sometimes on these mini kind of supercells, I have to look at a different source and just see what things are looking like, make sure nothing's misbehaving. And as of now, I don't see anything too crazy out of these. But I'm watching closely as these storms are starting to fire up. So let's, before things completely pop off here, let's go ahead and take a look at... And this is not really a show that I have in here, but this is going to be just your basic severe weather stuff here. We're going to go on through this. So your general outlook for today is that there is a moderate risk of severe weather. That moderate risk does not include the entire area, actually. The southern four parishes here, St. Landry, Evangeline, Allen, and Beauregard, you're in the enhanced level 3 of 5 risk. The moderate is going to be over the northern 2/3 of the area, basically from Toledo Bend all the way through Natchez up to Winfield and then down into southern Rapides, Vernon, and Avoyelles Parish. So that's the moderate risk. That's level 4 out of 5. That is one level to go higher than that, and we hope we don't see that, and I don't think we will today. So that's not to say this is not going to be a significant day, but we have the hail outlook. This is your lesser of the evils here, about a 15% chance to see severe hail an inch or greater in diameter, and that's going to be within 25 miles of a point. The bad news is the strong tornado risk, if you're in the level 3 or the level 4, that is pretty much the entire area is covered by that. So 10% chance for a strong tornado within 25 miles of a point, and that is EF2 or stronger. And we saw a couple of EF1s with the system that came through just a couple of days ago, not classified as strong, and those were still out there snapping trees and doing some damage. So strong tornado risk area wide today. There is your actual tornado, your severe wind outlook here. This is a 30% chance for severe wind greater than 58 miles per hour within 25 miles of a point. And yeah, so then here's your actual, this is the other tornado outlook. This is the 15% risk up here, 10% elsewhere, and again, that chance for a strong tornado. So what is the HRRR model showing? What are we seeing on the high-res stuff? Actually, I'm going to step you through this, so close your eyes. I want to do it my own way. Here we go. Okay, starting off at 8 a.m., we already have the storms out there. And these storms, they're going to probably struggle a bit more than the later ones. So we get storms that are going to be kind of scattered and popping up. Maybe another supercell pops around 10 or so. So we'll be watching things, but you can see that main show coming in from the west. And anything that develops out ahead of this is going to have the chance to quickly rotate and go severe because the wind shear and instability combination is pretty strong today. By about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, that line's going to start pressing into the western parishes. We'll get supercells out ahead of that as well. And you can see here on approach to Alexandria around 4, there are going to be some nasty storms in that line. Now, it's going to clear through fairly quickly. I don't think this is going to bring as much rain as what we saw in most areas. Well, you know, I shouldn't say that because we did have a stripe of very heavy rain come right overhead here. I don't think we're going to see 3 to 5 inches of rain again here in Alexandria. Maybe we get an inch or 2, but the main story today is going to be that severe threat. And by about 7 o'clock, that exits. I mean, 6, we're pretty much closing business down here. 6 to 7 o'clock, things get out of here, and then maybe some showers lingering up along I-20, but that main show is going to be from right now through the afternoon. Let me go ahead and take a look over at radar once again. And yeah, so we have these 3 storms looking pretty interesting here. I'll be looking out on the cameras and all that stuff. They do have that kind of look to them. They're just kind of starting off the day looking pretty nasty here. So I'm going to look at the velocity to make sure nothing's going on there. But I go down to the Lake Charles radar, like to see different layers on these storms. And you can see that each one of them in their own right here has some sort of mesocyclone. So these are spinning in the, let's see, this one right here, that storm, we're looking about 2,000 feet up. This one, we're at 4,000. This one from the Lake Charles radar, almost 7,000 feet up. So you can see as you get further away from that radar site, that's what we're seeing here. Let me show you the storms that we're really watching here. Storm 1, 2, and 3 down here. And already rotation in each of those storms. We have some weak rotation off to the east in these storms. We're looking way up high in those. So those are moving out of the area. These 3 are the main concern right now. And pop back to reflectivity. Go back to this one, and those are the storms that we are most concerned with. No warnings on these just yet. But it would not surprise me to see 1 or 2 of these go warned here fairly soon. I'll be here ready to go live should that happen. Let me take my drawing off of there. I'm going to make sure the National Weather Service isn't about to issue something. See, if they were, I would stick around. And no, but I do think we're going to get a tornado watch fairly soon. Let me look at one thing on the... just on this here. Okay, that's a discussion to the east. Okay, that's not going to impact our area, but I think by probably 8 or so, we're going to get a tornado watch out of this. Maybe even a little sooner, so we shall see. Let's see. All right. You'll be on shift, Dan? Awesome. Good morning, Mom. All right. Yeah, what did you say? There's a tornado warning over by Zachary? See it on here. So yeah, these storms you can actually see as you kind of pull it out here that they're, as they mature, as they deepen, they're starting to kind of turn a little bit toward the right. So you get that general southwesterly flow, and then as these mature, they're going to turn more toward the right. So we'll be watching these very closely, and most certainly we'll be updating you if we get any tornado or severe thunderstorm warnings. Not seeing any imminent right now. Let me check one more thing, and then I'm just going to let you go. I'm going to leave that live setup to where I'm ready to jump on very quickly. I'm just going to be sitting here in this chair, drinking coffee and staring at the radar. So yeah. Let me actually see that. Okay, yep, there's that tornado warning over towards Zachary. I had the warning. Oh, there we go. Okay, tornado warning. Never mind, we're sticking around now. This is why I wait on these things. Okay, we have a tornado warning for Beauregard Parish. I was about to leave there. And yeah, that's why I was hanging around. I thought, okay, this one is looking a little nasty. So this storm right here, this one here in central Beauregard Parish has a tornado warning until 7:45. Let me look at Lake Charles. Might have a better view on this one. Yeah, that is, let me make sure there's nothing on the ground now, and I can't tell you for sure. All right, we're starting off early today. That's probably in the inflow region, so hopefully not seeing anything there just yet. Let's look at the shear swath. And yeah, so everything's just kind of starting to perk up, and we're getting these storms to go off pretty early here today. All right, let's get the text up on this. I'm going to read you what we have on this warning, if it's in here yet. If not, I'll grab that, and we'll go from there. Tornado warning. Northeastern Beauregard Parish in southwestern Louisiana at 7:17 a.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Longville, or 7 miles east of Singer, moving northeast at 20. This dangerous storm will be near Tulla around 7:25. Other impacted areas, possibly Bundick Lake. So let me see what Lake Charles is saying about this. All right, we just have said they're watching the rotation, and the warning is issued shortly after. All right, so that was, again, that's how quickly it happens. We go from nothing to tornado warning. So tornado warning number 1 here in Beauregard Parish, and again, watching all these storms, there is lightning in them. I just take it off because it can get a little distracting from time to time. Let's go in and take a look closely at what we have going on here with this storm. And yeah, you can see that is going to move right over Tulla up toward Longacre. And I will put this on the shorter lapse now because we don't care about what happened an hour ago. We don't need the whole evolution of this. But that's going to come right up along 171 into Tulla. And it's probably going to stay just east of DeRidder. So if you are east of DeRidder out toward Longacre, even down toward Sugartown here in the next little while, you're going to want to watch out for this one because this is a tornado warning. I don't believe we've confirmed the tornado yet, but velocity is showing rotation at 2,000 or 2,100 feet. Let me see, Lake Charles, that is, yeah, same basically, 2,100 feet. So that is what we're looking at here. This is tracking toward the northeast. It looks like they're saying 20 miles per hour. Might be a little bit faster than that, but let's put it in motion. And there you can see that evolution as this kind of tightens up. On its push northeast toward Tulla, it's going to cross 171 right around there. Now, will that be a tornado? I'm not sure, but obviously very evident hook echo on this one. Let me pull the Facebook comments back up. Yes, we do have a tornado warning ongoing right now. This is for Beauregard Parish. If you live in Longville, you're good. It's north of you. So you have the tornado warning in effect, but that storm is north of you, and you can see that thing curling up right there as it heads up toward Tulla and Longacre. So it's going to, this is a pretty nasty looking one, and what I'm going to do is pull this out and make sure I'm not missing another one because these storms are all looking fairly similar here. This one moving toward Boyce, another one down here near Union Hill that's going to come up here and impact probably, if not Alexandria, just west of us, but this storm right here, most certainly the one with the most nasty look to it and the most nasty hook to it right now. I'm just taking a look to see what it looks like from this radar. It looks like another mezzo coming out of Calcasieu Parish, so it is going to be a long day. You take what these storms give you early, and when you start with tornado warnings at 7-something in the morning, that's not a good sign for the day. We have a little more wind shear directionally this morning, so I'm not surprised to see this. I think later today we get a lot more instability, and maybe that wind shear is just a tick less. So I'm hoping that impacts these storms negatively and takes away their spin. I'm not really optimistic that that's going to be the case, but we can see here that starting off very early, we do have a tornado warning and a very justified tornado warning here over Beauregard Parish with this cell. We have 2 other storms rotating, one in Northwest Rapides and one in Southwest Rapides Parish, but this one right here is the one that's looking the nastiest as of right now. And you can see again, 1, 2, and 3. Those are the storms we're watching. Just make sure. Okay, let's. Okay, that's good to see that. Whatever that was, go away. See, that's showing that little blip right there crossing 171, and this part of the storm that we're really interested in has not crossed 171. So that's just inflow junk getting kind of pulled into the storm here. We are not thinking that is a that's not a confirmed tornado as of this point. but there is definite rotation, very obvious. With this storm in the low levels, it has been increasing in the last 15, 20 minutes, so that did prompt a tornado warning to come out on this cell that is heading toward Tulla. Let's see. And that tornado warning is in effect until 7:45 a.m. Hopefully, this is just going to be a weak transient thing that goes away fairly quickly. But as of now, there's pretty strong rotation in this, and we're going to be watching that one closely. Just looking at the shear rate, this storm showing up more so than the others, and that, again, that little small area right there, that's where the highest wind shear is that we're seeing. It's about to cross 171 near Tulla, just south of that, just west of Kipling, probably east of Carson. But, you know, when you're within a couple of miles of this stuff, you definitely want to watch out for it. You can see that there is a very good representation of this on radar. You're luckily hearing this storm. I hate when these things hardly have any lightning, because that's not going to be the thing that comes in and wakes you up. So this is going to wake you up if you live in, even in DeRidder, you're hearing that thunder. Now, I think that's going to stay east of you, the actual cell here, but that is a pretty nasty looking storm. We have another one up here in southwest Rapides Parish. And let me take a look. You know what? I'm not even going to fool with the cameras right now, because actually what I'll do is leave those up back here so I can check on them to see if I have anything that is actually visible, because right now these cameras are pretty obscured. So there is your supercell thunderstorm with a tornado warning here in Beauregard Parish. Sorry, I wanted to hit that one. Okay, not seeing much change there on that right now. We just like to cycle through, look at the different radar signatures. And again, this one doesn't have a warning in southwest Rapides Parish, but you can see here we're looking about 4,200, 4,300 feet up into this, and we are seeing some pretty stout rotation with that. So it's possible that one creates our next tornado warning. It's something to watch for sure as this heads up west of Glenmora near Union Hill. This is going to kind of turn toward the right and come toward Alexandria, so we'll be watching closely. But for now, this tornado warning, why does it look less significant than this? Because it's closer to the radar, so you're typically not going to see as impressive of a signature as you get right down to the surface, unless there is a tornado, and then we could see some really impressive stuff. So as it stands now, I don't think we have a tornado on the ground, but you want to treat it as we do, because, you know, tornado warning, you want to obey those. Put this in motion, just make sure I don't see anything wild and crazy. Let's see what that is on the back end. No, that should not be. That shouldn't be anything terrible on that one. Let me pull up. I'm just looking at the cameras to see if I see anything out of the Leesville camera. No, that thing is totally foggy. Yeah, that's another thing. You're not going to be able to see these things as they approach. Only area I'm seeing not in the fog so far is down around LeBeau, but nothing going on storm-wise there. I'm just checking them all here. That way I don't have to make you check them with me. Can't see anything from Turpin Stadium. And actually, I have Turpin Stadium in that up here above me. That is going to be... That's the Toledo Bend camera. Watching two areas of broad weak rotation, one in northwest Calcasieu and the other in southwest Rapides. So they're watching this storm and this storm. And then this one has the tornado warning on it here in Beauregard Parish. Why am I not pegging the freakout meter? Because as of now, this one does not look too terrible. I'm actually starting to get a little more concerned about this one in southwest Rapides, but we do have that tornado warning for another 18 minutes here in Beauregard Parish. This rotation about to cross over Highway 171, and that is right near Tulla, maybe just south of town. Let me go back to this one. Seem to have a better... Actually, that's, you know, it looks a little more muddled now. We don't have that clear hook echo as this thing heads up and crosses over 171. Some heavy rain moving into DeRidder. That's a separate cell, so that's not the cell here that's producing the possible or producing the tornado warning in southern or central Beauregard Parish near Tulla. So let me go over, pull this up. Just rain in Leesville. Leesville, you're good right now. We'll watch this storm behind it, but the main two I'm focusing on right now are going to be this storm with the tornado warning and this one here in southwestern Rapides Parish. And you can see that as we put these in motion, lots of lightning with those. That thing looks like it's about to hook around here, and that's going to get interesting as it heads up toward Rapides, toward Alexandria. Tornado watch will be issued soon for most of the area. That's not a surprise, excluding the coastal parishes and counties. And that's from Texas. Yeah, that's the National Weather Service in Lake Charles. So they do have counties. When I'm saying that, I'm not screwing up. I know that would be frustrating if I was still calling them counties after 23 years. I'm just looking to see when that watch. Okay, it's not out. There is a severe thunderstorm watch to our northwest. But right now, we are looking closely at a tornado-warned storm here in Beauregard Parish, and then this one that is kind of paralleling 165, and it's going to move up near Alexandria. They're continuing the tornado warning for Beauregard Parish. Let's see. Yeah, they're just going to continue that warning for the next. They're going to let that roll until 7:45. And yeah, that tornado watch is coming shortly. That storm is looking very stout here into Rapides Parish, and again, I'm going to look at other things too while I'm keeping that view up there. But that storm is something to be at least somewhat concerned about. The one in Beauregard Parish, it continues to have rotation that's pretty evident, about to cross 171, and then this one here is growing in intensity that is moving up toward Otis, Heinzton, Calcasieu, these areas just hit by that tornado just a couple of days ago out here, very close to that kind of location. And you can see that Union Hill, you're kind of right in this one as well. Let's go to, I'm just looking at this to see which one to go to. Let's go to Lake Charles on this and look at the storm relative velocity. And yeah, there's a rotation moving right in toward Union Hill, right at the intersection of 112 and 113. That area that was hit not too long ago with a tornado as well several months ago. So we have that one. We have this tornado warned storm in Beauregard Parish, and watching very closely to see if they decide to warn this one that's going to move up toward Alexandria pretty soon. If I were not doing this, I would be on the road to that storm right now. I will tell you that. That one looks chaseable and looks pretty nasty here in southwestern Rapides. This tornado-warned storm continues here in Beauregard Parish. That's right over the Tulla community right now. Let me put this out of motion, go in, zoom down. Rotation now crossing 171 right there, very evident. That's moving toward the northeast at about 20 miles per hour. Let me get the update on this one. All right, should get an update in here. There we go. At 7:29 a.m., so a couple minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Tulla, or 10 miles east of Singer, moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. Radar indicated rotation here, so this is not confirmed. It says this will be near DeRidder at 7:35. It'll be over Tulla right now. It's obviously going to go just east of DeRidder, but if you are in Longacre or on the east side of DeRidder, you could see some impact from this. Now, it's not a confirmed tornado, but it is something we are watching closely. Another very clear mesocyclone coming up into southwestern Rapides Parish, and this is going to be a future issue, I think, here around Alexandria, Pineville, Ball, and before that, you can see Union Hill, Calcasieu, and then up toward Melder, Elmer, and maybe Heinzton. Heinzton might be just on the west side of that one. It's going to be east of Afeman, Leander, that area, so this is just a bit east of where that one came up, that tornado that was on 463 and crossed over here just a couple of days ago, that EF1 that caused some structural and some tree damage. So we have that one right there. We have our tornado warning down with this cell in Beauregard Parish. The one in northwest Rapides Parish does not look incredibly impressive. Let me make sure I'm not lying to you. No, that does not look impressive. This one has my attention, and this one down here obviously does, because we have a tornado warning with that. But you can see how this storm here, that's where the hook's forming. It's all just kind of, they get that certain shape to them, and then that hook kind of curls around the back. And we saw that happen with this storm. Fortunately, that one did not last terribly long. Now, it's still tornado warned, so still something we have concern with. But for right now, I like that I'm not seeing anything that's signaling tornado here, because we're only looking up about 800 feet into this storm. So if there were a tornado, we would very likely see that. And yes, there's a giant blue blob there, but I believe that would just be in the inflow region. That's totally what it is. Yeah, that's all inflow coming into this storm. That's pulling in leaves and twigs and birds and stuff like that. Let's see. Where is the rotation near DeRidder? It's southeast of you, so right along 171. And I don't think this one's on the ground here, but Loomis Road, Hauser Road, Griffin Road, that area, Greentown Road. If you are looking down the road a bit here, right up here along Highway 26 near Longacre, let's say around Burns, Townsley Road, that area, Longacre Road, Fraley Green Road, Rutherford Road, that is where this rotation is going to come up, but it doesn't look that strong to me. So right now, I'm not sitting here saying that you've got a tornado on the ground or anything, but certainly something to keep an eye on. We have foggy conditions still up in Natchitoches. I can see the camera up there in at Toledo Bend. We have a little bit of a view, but no storms up that way. I'm just going to put this in motion. I can hear the thunder here in town now. A couple of rumbles so far. And just to recap, we do have this one tornado warning for this storm near Tulla that's going to go east of DeRidder. This storm here looks pretty impressive. This one is moving up into southwestern Rapides Parish, and I will take you to the Fort Johnson radar and show you there is definitely a hook echo on this one. So we're seeing kind of that look to it that we don't like to see. And then this storm down here has the tornado warning with another one behind it that's moving up into Beauregard Parish. And that kind of gives me a good reminder. Just because you get a tornado warning today, or just because you see one significant storm in your area, does not mean you won't see another. This is the kind of day where we could see multiple things, multiple warnings, multiple supercells that hit the same locations. This one right here, this is right over Union Hill. That is the rotation in the low levels. It's pretty high up, looks messy. Lake Charles radar, you can see it's pretty coherent right there. So this one's going right up. I believe that's 112 right there. That's going to go up 112 right where it crosses 113. That is rotation number 1. Rotation number 2 with the tornado warning down there over Beauregard Parish. So let me see. Let me see what their plans are. Oops. That's just the air conditioner kicking on. Okay, just still talking about the tornado watch. So to recap, once again, tornado warning for another 9 minutes here in Beauregard Parish. Union Hill, you're not under a warning right now, but you have a pretty clear hook on radar showing up overhead, and that's been persistent over several frames. You can see the characteristic of that storm is that hook bends around there, and a tornado watch has just been issued for everyone. So that watch goes until 3 p.m. Could get extended by a couple hours, though. I could see this one going until 5. So they typically issue watches for like 6 or 8 hours or something like that. So this one's going 8 hours. It's over a huge area. And yesterday, or 2 days ago, totally screwing the days up now, but 2 days ago we had that watch and it was issued for until 2 a.m. and I was saying, well, the threat's going to be over well before that. Sometimes you'll get these watches you trim back like that. Other times you'll have watches like this that they're going to go to that time frame and possibly even a little bit beyond. But this tornado watch goes all the way out to Crockett, Texas. It is along I-10, though most areas south of I-10 are out of this one. Like I'm talking, Cameron Parish down into Vermilion, Terrebonne, that area. So if you are south of I-10, even New Orleans is out of this one. You're not in the watch, but still could be a severe threat down there. The tornado watch goes until 3 for everyone, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's 3 o'clock across the board, and we already have these morning storms that are cranking up here. Now, I don't know if this is a PDS watch or what we're getting with that, but I am going to be watching things closely to see what we have on that watch. For now, we have a tornado warning over Beauregard Parish. We have another very impressive supercell thunderstorm here in western Rapides Parish. This one is going to continue to move up to the northeast. Lightning, thunder, lots of it. Let me get the counter on this. 167, of which, just zooming in on this one storm, 58 of these are from this storm right here. So this thing is electrified. The rotation is right along 112. It's not tornado warned, but it just, again, has kind of that look to it. So we've been watching this one pretty closely. Any rotation, though, that's showing up here is not over the top with that one. The rotation was stronger with this one earlier, but has since weakened. We still have the tornado warning. I doubt they're going to let that one, or I doubt they're going to extend that one. And again, when I'm doing this stuff, it's typically kind of a stream of consciousness where I'm just going around looking at stuff on radar, and we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to see if I see anything interesting or scary. And right now, that storm looks pretty robust there in southwest Rapides. We have that tornado warning in Beauregard Parish. There's going to be a lot of repetitive nature to this kind of stuff here as as I'm going to be seeing the same things, and I know people are kind of jumping in and jumping out. I'm going to go with storm relative on that. And yeah, so this storm has a deeper, better mesocyclone on it. This one had one earlier. There's the tornado watch popping in now. That should have gone out across Facebook. I would hope. Let me see. I'm just going to make sure that watch went out with the automated stuff. And it did. So, that tornado watch is there. The tornado warning showed up. Okay, everything's working well. That is storm number 1, storm number 2. We have the warning down here in Beauregard Parish. This one is not warned in southwestern Rapides, but they are aware of it and watching it down at the Lake Charles Weather Service office. And when you look at that radar picture, it's kind of like, well, that's a pretty normal storm. When I look at this one and I put it in motion especially, you can see how this thing's trying to wrap up and possibly produce some mischief here. And we're going to get a pretty good view of that here in Alexandria fairly shortly. So tornado warning down here. Let me look at the storm behind that coming into southwestern Beauregard Parish. That one near DeQuincy, that area, it looks like that could become another area of concern. Going to look at the Lake Charles radar since it's closer. And yeah, we're seeing some low-level rotation in that one. So could be another warning with that one, or at least something to watch here closely. And then this storm that's going to be moving right up toward Alexandria here in the next little bit. Let me put this in motion. We'll just go over the last half hour. And you can see that thing is really just making a beeline right for Alexandria. Going to come right across our area. Probably, let's see how far away it is. From Mezzo to my house is about 22 miles. So with these storms moving allegedly around 20-25 miles per hour, that would be about an hour before it got here. I think it's probably moving a little bit quicker than that. So let's see, actually. Let's go. And what I'll do, I'm going to clear that. I'm going to go back a half hour. We're going to track this Mezzo. Let's go ahead and do some measuring ourselves. So from, this is going to be very non-technical stuff. So from here, Mezzo, half hour, to here. All right, let me then measure this. In the last half hour, it's moved about 11.6 miles. So we're looking at about 23, 24 miles per hour out of this. So a pretty good estimate there on that thing as it continues to move up from the southwest. Get that out of there. Tornado warning continues for this cell in Beauregard Parish. I think this one is kind of becoming more impressive looking than that, but you can see the general idea is a parade of thunderstorms with rotation in them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 now, and those are going to continue to kind of move over the same areas. Not exactly the same areas, but it's pretty generally the same there. So let me see what we have here down in New Orleans. Down in New Orleans. Yeah, that storm that moved across like the 112 area, that one's not warned at this point. And I've seen some rotation, but I have not seen anything that confirms a tornado with that by any stretch. Let me just put this in motion. Yeah, that's inflow junk that's kind of coming into the southeastern side of that storm. Still some pretty strong rotation showing up down to 900 feet. Look at this radar. And yeah, we're just going to have to watch this one as it comes up. We are 2 minutes away from the potential of this warning going away, but again, I think we're going to just keep with it because I'm thinking we're going to get more warnings, and I'll probably just be leaving this stream up most of the day. I'm going to have to reload that coffee at some point. For sure. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 storms of concern. Got some rotation weak up here. This is the strongest one right now. This one has the tornado warning on it for another 2 minutes. And then the newest area here. Rotation on a storm moving through Southwest Rapids. Currently no warning, but they are monitoring closely. So National Weather Service is always going to be as aware of this stuff as I am. Looking at their imagery here. If you do have any damage reports or whatever, it might get kind of bogged down in this thread. So what you'd want to do is contact the National Weather Service in Lake Charles if you have any damage, or obviously local authorities, and let them know what's going on. But let's see. You're hearing thunder in Avoyelles. Might be hearing it from that one out to your east. Let's see, where's that lightning? There it is. Got a storm to your east, storm to your west. And so, yeah, you're kind of in between things, but possibly hearing a little thunder out in the eastern part of the parish and western as well. Hearing some rumbles here in Alexandria as that storm comes up from the southwest. In asking about, like, if there's going to be a break. Yeah, there will be breaks. You're going to kind of have to look at radar and see when you get that chance to go from a specific spot to another one. Looks like that tornado warning is allowed to expire. It looks like it's going away. So it disappeared off radar scope. So there it goes. Okay, cool. So that tornado warning's gone. They're not reissuing that, I don't believe. I think they would have reissued that already, and that storm's just not looking that impressive right now. I am going to see if I'm hoping I have some sort of view from this, from the Alexandria camera pretty soon, because I think we're going to get a really close look at this storm. And it's just real foggy right now, but I'll show you. What the heck? We don't have a warning, so I can jump over there and show you that. This is your Alexandria camera. So again, this is not one, if you're going outside saying, hey, I want to see the rotation, you're not going to. It's way too hazy and foggy. The cloud base is basically at ground level, which actually is not a good thing, because when we have lower cloud bases like that, it's pretty easy to get a tornado down to the ground. So by the time it was on you, you would be, it would be too late to escape in most cases, because visibilities are down below a mile. So you don't want to go out and try to spot this one. That's what these cameras are for. Let's see, it has expired. Okay, yeah, they're not reissuing that one. Okay, let's go back over to radar, I'm thinking. All right, so we have a special weather statement on this storm that is up near Colfax, moving toward Dry Prong. Maybe even some small hail out of that one that's through Boyce now. And that's what you're hearing the thunder for in Ball. Now, the tornado watch is for everyone. So anywhere, between Lafayette and Monroe, basically all of Louisiana, but New Orleans and the area south of I-10 and a few parishes way up northeast, like Oak Grove, Lake Providence, maybe. It might be up out of that one. But right now, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for that one heading up toward Shreveport. That's going to include DeSoto Parish, as well as Caddo Parish and parts of Bossier Parish, and even slipping in here to Panola County, Texas. The significant weather statement up here into Grant Parish, that goes for a little while longer. That's going to show me the tornado watch. But this storm right here could have some hail in it. Let me know if you do have, if you see any hail or anything like that. Any sort of storm reports, I'll try to catch them here. Yeah, light rain in Glenmora. It's just off to your west. It's rocking and rolling there. Let's show you where the worst of this one is. This is right over Melder right now. So if we're seeing any sort of hail or anything, it would be in that area. And then that rotation is coming up from the southwest. Let me look and see if I get a better view of this from Lake Charles. Yeah, I mean, it's showing clear rotation in this storm. Fortunately, it has not been able to really tighten up yet, but we're seeing that this is going to track right up toward Alexandria, and we're going to see a front row seat. We're going to get a front row view of this one as it comes up from the southwest. So far, so good with that one not producing anything, but here we're looking only at about 900 feet up, and you can see that we still have that low-level mesocyclone there. So when it's that low, I get a little more concerned. I'm going to certainly be staying with this storm, even though there is no warning. It's possible that that changes fairly quickly, and this rotation area is heading up between, or just east of Calcasieu, and it's going to go right over Melder. So if you are in the Melder area, let's see. You just had light hail and Boyce. Okay, thank you. So the Calcasieu community toward, let's see, Durand Road, Highway 112. This is about to cross near Boy Scout Road. Buckhorn Road, Turnage Road, that area, that is where we are going to see this rotation coming up from the southwest. No new warnings on it just yet, but the reason I'm staying with it is that storm looks pretty darn nasty, and it's going to be coming right up overhead here in Alexandria in a bit. I'd be staying with this storm no matter where it was, though, because it just looks pretty rough, and it's in a favorable environment to increase and cause some issues. So I'm going to look at this tornado watch, see what the threats are here. So what they do is they break down kind of your high, moderate, and low risk of what you're going to see out of this thing. This watch, it's very large, but it has a high risk for tornadoes. Let me get into the probabilities here. So a 70% chance of 2 or more tornadoes in the watch. It's a big watch from Texas to Mississippi and most of Louisiana. 50% chance of 1 or more EF2 or stronger tornadoes, 50% chance probability of 10 or more severe wind, 10 or more severe wind events, and a 10% chance of 1 or more wind event greater than 65 knots, 75 miles per hour, 50% chance of 10 or more hail events in this, with the 30% chance of 1 or more storms producing 2-inch hailstones. There's a severe thunderstorm warning. Thought we'd get that. All right, severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on this one. So let me go back to let's go back into these warnings, and I will read you the text on this one. This is the storm that is approaching Alexandria. We are not in the warning right now if you're in Alexandria, but Woodworth, Castor Plunge, Melder, you're in this one. Calcasieu, you're in that one. You're kind of on the backside of this storm. And that whole area, kind of like down Twin Bridges Road, that's where this thing's going to come up across Oak Hill High School. You might be on the west end of this one. That area, though, you know what I'm talking about. If I'm mentioning your area, you know what's going on. Don't have that warning just yet. So what I'm going to do is give you the time on that ending, 8:15. So this one goes 24 minutes. It, again, has that tag for a tornado possible with this storm. I don't know why it's not showing up. Current hazards. Just a second. And you can probably hear the little rumbling going on out there. Thunder increasing, lightning all over the place with this one as this storm continues on toward the northeast. And we have special weather statements on all these other storms here, but this one right here in Rapides Parish, that is going to be your strongest storm right now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning with that one. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning. 7:49 a.m. just a few minutes ago. It came out with this warning. Severe thunderstorm located near Elmer or 7 miles southeast of Heinston, moving northeast at 25. The hazard with this is 60-mile-per-hour wind and penny-sized hail. Forest Hill, Calcasieu, Woodworth, Elmer, and LeCount in the path on this one. It's going to take a pretty hard right turn if it's going to want to hit LeCount. I mean, I think it's going to stay north of you, but we'll be watching that closely. as this storm is maturing and could take a bit of a turn toward the right there. But there could be some hail out of this one. I kind of think there is probably some hail falling in Elmer. Elmer to Melder, that area, that's where the worst of this one's coming through. And you can see down here we have that little hook appendage thing that's happening. And this does have, again, a tornado possible tag with it. I'm just looking through all the products here, just seeing what we see. Certainly nothing screaming that there's a tornado on the ground out of that one, but lots of special weather statements and a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings going with these storms as they continue to grow and intensify. This one here coming up through southwestern Rapides Parish, moving right up here toward Alexandria, Woodworth, Pineville, all those areas. And yeah, that really shows me that this, this has a good bit of rotation in it, and you can see that kind of tightening up and intensifying at about 4,000 or 5,000 feet up. So that's a part of the process in these storms intensifying, and we're seeing that happen right now. Looking at some other radar sources here. Yeah, that storm's looking pretty rough, and it's on an upswing right now. So let me actually get the chat back up on that. All right, so lots of special weather statements. Severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15. This is for Rapides Parish. This includes Woodworth, Forest Hill, Castor Plunge, Woodworth. You're in this Lisso, Calcasieu, and northeast of Union Hill now. Looks like another severe thunderstorm warning issued somewhere in the Shreveport area. Okay, that's way up north, so we don't have to concern ourselves with that one right now. This severe thunderstorm warning here in Rapides Parish, this is, there's low-level rotation, there's mid-level rotation with this storm. I'll take you on the quick radar tour of this. Over the last half hour, you can see, that's just about as obvious of a hook echo as you get, and I'm going to be pretty surprised if we don't see this thing go tornado warned here in the next little bit. So get ready for your phone to make a loud noise. If that freaks you out, it could be coming here. I don't want to, I'm not saying, this isn't like a couple days ago when I said, yeah, there's probably one on the ground here, but this storm has an obvious look to it here as it continues up toward Alexandria, Woodworth. That thing is going to, if you're in Woodworth, it's going to be very close very soon. So I would go ahead and seek shelter. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it, and what that means is that's just kind of another layer we go up with these things. So it's not saying there is a tornado warning. It's not saying a tornado is imminent, but it does say that a tornado is possible with this one, even though there's not an explicit warning for it in place right now. Let's see if that shear swath is strengthening. I think that is. Yeah. Starting to see that intensify there as well. And that's just kind of stuff I'm going to be peeking at. A little bit of a hail core showing up on that one. And I can basically, it's all it is with that I'm looking at in this chat is Slack, and I see one of them typing, and I'm like, all right, what are you going to say? Okay, radar update. The mid-level rotation still looks good with the Western Rapides storm. However, the low levels suggesting potentially a cold and gusty rear flank downdraft. Okay, that could produce some stout, damaging wind, but we're not talking tornado if that's the case. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for wind and possibly some hail. So as of now, we do not have a tornado warning on this, but that is a pretty nasty looking storm right there. I'm just going through the tour, listening to the rumbles out there. And you can see how different these look. That's Lake Charles, that's Shreveport, totally different look to this. And then we go into the closer in. This is, the radar's right here, so we're only 18 miles away. And so that's getting a really good view of this storm that is going to be coming up toward Alexandria here in the next little bit. I'm just taking a look. We have the rain falling here in town now. Not seeing anything on the, it's just so kind of dense and nasty out there. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning for Grant, Western LaSalle, and clipping southern Wynn Parish. That one is going to impact Dry Prong, Oak Grove over toward Pollock, possibly Williana down the road, Georgetown. Looking at this one coming up from the southwest toward the northeast. Let's, oops. There's not a big hail swath on that one. Velocity, not looking too crazy there. Not seeing much on that one. But watching this storm very closely in southwestern, or now pretty much in central Rapides Parish. So we're going to focus more on that one as that has more of a tornado threat. Let me go ahead and get this warning up, though, and just read that one to you. And I apologize if I'm missing some comments and stuff because I'm just kind of locked in on this right now. So... warning. There we go. Okay, so severe thunderstorm warning for central Grant Parish, west central LaSalle Parish, and southeastern Wynn Parish. It's just a very small chunk of Wynn Parish there. Severe thunderstorm was located about 5 miles southeast of Colfax or 31 miles south of Winfield, moving northeast at 25. Hazard 60-mile-per-hour winds and half-dollar-sized hail possibly with this storm. So this could produce some damage to roofs and siding. Locations impacted: Colfax, Midway, Pollock, Dry Prong, Georgetown, Bentley, Williana, Lake Ayat, Rochelle, and Zenoria. Ooh, that is a nasty looking storm right here. This is the Rapides Parish storm that is going to get my attention right now just because, I mean, if you look at these storms, that looks kind of ragged. That thing looks really, really nasty. Again, it looks different when you go into this radar, but we're even seeing that inflow here on the Lake Charles radar, and we're looking 5,500 feet up into the storm now. So still clear rotation in this, still not seeing, as of now, any sort of indicator that there is a tornado on the ground. I'm going to be watching very carefully for this. Let me see. Yeah, that is a potent thunderstorm right there, and I just have to make sure I don't have anyone. I have a friend who's a meteorologist in Woodworth, and I'm like, yeah, go out and get that, but I don't know, you won't be able to see anything, so I guess not. I'm just popping over here to look at the HazCams. Not seeing anything as of yet here in Alexandria. Hold on, let me just reply to something. All right. So we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now. The one for Rapides Parish is definitely the most impressive looking warning right now. We have another warning up into Grant, LaSalle, and extreme southeastern Wynn Parish. And then we have these storms down here that are, as of now, not they don't have warnings on those. But looking at, this is your Fort Johnson radar. That's some pretty strong rotation. Right over Melder with this storm. And again, I say this because you'll see this sometimes at 6,000 feet, and I'm not as concerned. This is 1,000 feet aloft, so this is not far above the ground, and that area looks to be intensifying a bit. Let me take you through the last 15 minutes or so, and you can see that we do have pretty solid low-level rotation with this storm. Pretty solid mid-level as well. So that storm continues to spin. It has not. It does not have a tornado warning with it yet. And I'm not saying that it should. I'm just saying that that is a crazy-looking storm. And while the velocity profile is not off the charts now, we're going to be watching that one very, very closely as it continues up toward Alexandria. Let's see. All right, so impressive looking storm. Let me put this in motion. You can kind of see the whole evolution of this storm, if it were producing something, I think it would be pretty soon, because you can see how that backside is wrapping around and rotating. If we didn't have as good of data as we have, I mean, we would probably have a warning on this already. They're considering it, and if they do put a tornado warning on that, again, we're going to hear that big, loud, crazy noise and all that good stuff. So prep yourself for that. That would, I'm sure, wake up some of the folks that are still asleep out there. Tornado possible. Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect with this. Yes, you do have a severe thunderstorm warning up in Grant Parish as well. The reason I'm sticking more onto this storm here in Rapides is because this one has much more of a look of possibly producing a tornado and fairly shortly here. So as I tell my neighbors here all the time, if you're in that like Lark Versailles area, if I'm not under the table, you know, you're pretty good. So far, I'm not going to be doing that, but I am watching this incredibly closely because it's starting to get really get that look. People can sleep through this. I can't. I don't even know if I need coffee anymore. Okay. I'm just looking to see. You see, if I get a correlation coefficient drop, like this is the area I'm looking at here, around Highway 112, Boy Scout Road, that area right there. When I look at the correlation coefficient, I don't really see something lining up exactly over top of that, but there is definitely stuff coming in the inflow here, right near Melder. And when I say that, I'm saying that's not likely a tornado, but it is something to watch incredibly closely. About as severe a storm as you get without a tornado warning right there. And they're considering putting a warning on that, and I kind of think if we get another scan that looks like that they would. And if that's the case, I would probably have to go wake up the family because they're all lazy and in bed still. A little jealous. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for this storm. Severe thunderstorm warning up in Grant and LaSalle, as well as a little bitty portion of Wynn Parish as these storms continue on toward the northeast. We'll go back to the closer in radars because that's where we're going to be watching this one. Actually, it looks like some pretty decent hail moving into Dry Prong. Please let me know if you're seeing any hail there. 167, I believe that's Highway 123 that crosses. Yeah, so if you're in that area, right into Dry Prong, that is where we could possibly be seeing some hail falling right there. And there's your tornado warning. I can't believe my phone didn't yell at me. There it is. Told you. All right, now we're going to watch this number grow because everyone's going to come on in here. So tornado warning, that is with this cell we've been talking about forever. So let me get you the text on that one. But a tornado warning has been issued for a good chunk of Rapides Parish. All righty. Tornado warning in effect until 8:30 for Central Rapides Parish. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Elmer or 9 miles east of Heinston, moving northeast at 25. This is going to remain over mainly rural areas of Central Rapides Parish, including Woodworth, Calcasieu, and Forest Hill. And then down the line, it's going to obviously be moving up toward Alexandria. But we still have some time to watch this one evolve and hopefully weaken out before it does get up this way. But we do have a tornado warning now on this storm, and it makes total sense to me why we do. All right, let's put this in motion. Clear mesocyclone that's going to probably pass near Woodworth, maybe just north, but I would say go ahead, Woodworth, Timberlake, that area. You're going to want to be in your shelter and you're going to want to be in a safe place right now. I don't see anything confirmed here, but it's a pretty noisy pattern showing up on the CC, on our debris tracker here. And the question is, is that just inflow coming in, which I think it is, It's in that Hook region, so just be careful. Take this warning seriously because this is a pretty serious-looking storm. Now, on the north side of things, if you are up here into Alexandria, maybe Inglewood Plantation, that area, that's where I think we're going to see more of a bit of a hail core with this. It doesn't look monstrous, but possibly some penny-sized hail out of this storm. Main threat here is going to be the tornado warning as this heads up toward the northeast. So we've been waiting on that tornado warning, and we do have that one now. So it's going to be moving into the Woodworth area and location slightly south of Alexandria. The better rotation is working closer to the surface. So not what we wanted to see there. Tornado warning has been issued. This goes until 8:45. Let's go ahead and, I'm sorry, 8:30? Yeah, 8:30. I apologize. So this warning is in effect for another 23 minutes for this storm that has really been pretty long-lived. Let me go ahead and put it in motion here over the last, let's go hour. I see another tornado warning just hit. I'm going to have to look and see where that is. So yeah, I mean, over the last hour, that thing has really, really wrapped up and really kind of held its own. So it does look like the worst of this would stay just south of Alexandria, but it's going to be coming right toward Woodworth. Let me get in on these streets. Watts Road, Castor Plunge, right there at the light. That's where this hook's going to be. This is going to be moving right across Castor Plunge, Bayou Clear, that area, Dan Triplet. You guys, if you're in Woodworth, you know what I'm talking about. 165, anywhere from where the speed limit changes on the south side of town up to the north side of town, all through the town of Woodworth. That storm is going to be continuing on toward the northeast with a very clear hook echo on it. Let me see this other tornado warning, actually. And that's for Beauregard Parish. That's another one coming in with that cell right there. So multiple tornado warnings going on right now. We have the one in Rapides Parish. We have this one down here in Beauregard. Let me get the information on that one. I'm going to go into the Lake Charles radar. That's going to be closer to that. And yeah, there's just north of DeQuincy some pretty stout rotation with that one. And you can see higher up in this storm, this one is also spinning just southwest of Woodworth. So 2 tornado warnings ongoing in the area right now. Let me make sure we don't see any debris with either of these. I'm going to look at the south one first. I do not see anything confirmed there. Looking up here to the north, that's the Lake Charles radar, so it's going to be further away. Looking right in this area, and there's no sort of clear signature on that one, but I am going to get you the text on the tornado warning in Beauregard Parish, so let's do that right now. Sorry, I'm going to get that noisy map off of there, and we'll just leave that looping as I come in and read this tornado warning for Beauregard Parish. This is for central Beauregard Parish in southwest Louisiana. At 8:07, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Oretta or near DeQuincy, moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. This will be near Oretta and Singer at about 8:15. So that storm down here in a more rural area, but still tornado warning with this one. I'll take you in real quick, show you the areas down the line. Longville, you've been in a tornado warning twice already today. First one missed you, and hopefully this one doesn't hit anyone either. So Juanita, Singer, Longville, that area, you're in the tornado warning, and then we are in a tornado warning up here into Rapides Parish. This storm really means business here. Let's see. On the Beauregard Parish, the center of circulation will cross 171 near Longville and move into the Dry Creek area if it holds together. So if you're in that area, that's what we're looking at with that storm. I am looking out at the camera here in Alexandria. It just looks rainy. I'm going to take the Leesville camera and turn it south so we can, if we see anything with that storm, we would be able to see it. And we actually do have a little visibility there. So west. And then I'm going to go and aim this thing south. Oops. All right, so that camera is looking in the right direction now. Again, you can follow along with those on the app. Tornado warning right now. We do have this one in Beauregard Parish. I'm not trying to say, you know, I'm not forgetting about you, but we have this one here that's impacting some very populated areas. We're going to go back and forth, kind of bounce around on these, but a tornado warning for Central Rapides Parish until 8:30. This storm is really looking serious on radar reflectivity. We don't have a very tight low-level signature on this right now. This is not like what we were seeing near the radar site the other day, 2 days ago, when we knew there was a tornado on the ground. Let's see, go back into this. And yeah, this product can be just a nightmare to read. In this case, it looks like, again, that inflow coming in, bringing all this junk. That's what's making this look like debris. It's just small things, birds, gnats, leaves, stuff like that, as that inflow continues to come and feed into this storm. That tornado warning continues to be in effect until 8:30 for Rapides, and then this one until 8:45 over Beauregard Parish. Go ahead and do the tour. Storm relative velocity is not showing anything out of the ordinary. We obviously have rotation here, and that continues to move on toward Woodworth. Let's take you in for a quick look at where the worst of this is now. We're actually going to go with rotation on this one. And so this area right here, that's where, you know, again, we've seen much better rotation signals than this before. But again, Castor Plunge, anywhere down Castor Plunge and Woodworth, that's where this is about to cross. It's eventually going to cross 165, and that's probably going to be up around Timberlake, and you're going to be right under the kind of the head of this hook here. So while I don't see anything that is most, you know, certainly on the ground right now, this is something that is tornado warned and should be. So I want you to treat this as a tornado, and just this is going to change quickly. So we have to wait a few minutes between radar scans. So I can't tell you what's going on exactly at this second. It's not a live updating product. It takes it 2 or 3 minutes. So we could see change from scan to scan, and you're going to want to just be ahead of that and be careful. We also have a tornado warning down to the southwest here in Beauregard Parish. That is continuing until 8:45. There's rotation right there and right there. Now, these are kind of separated out, and that's close into this system. We have a more coherent signature showing up aloft. But, hey, if these things are spinning aloft, it's not good news, but it's not as bad of news as if it's spinning near ground level. So if we can keep these things kind of elevated today, that would be very, very nice. LSUA near Inglewood in the next 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, that's where this is going to be crossing. So not looking great. I would not be in that area if at all possible. You can hear the thunder going here in Alexandria. Let me pull up the counter on that. 106 strikes out of this storm. That's up from 58 a little while ago. So this storm is going to be very loud at the very least. We have a severe thunderstorm warning up in Grant Parish. So, you know, I hate to have to prioritize, but that's the way we have to do this when we have multiple storms in the area. Rotation right now, right over Watts Road, Castor Plunge Road. I mean, Nikki and Josh, y'all need to be in the safe spot. I'm not saying it's on the ground, but they're right on Bayou Clear. Castor Plunge all the way down a couple of miles down that off of 165 and then up toward Timberlake. That's where this is going to be moving. Cooley Crossing, you'll want to seek shelter as well out at the Methodist camp, Lake Drive, Route 212 there. That's where this is all going to be heading up toward the northeast. And you can see that red there. That's been increasing over the last little while. So that's this is our shear product, and that's a rock solid shear signature there, more so than what we're seeing down south. But when we get into that radar, you can see when you get closer, you can see it a little bit better. So very evident hook echo on this cell over Rapides Parish. We have another one down here in Beauregard Parish, so 2 tornado warnings ongoing. This includes the city of Alexandria. Also a severe thunderstorm warning on a storm that looks like it might be breaking up here in Grant Parish, so possibly some hail fell with that one. But yeah, anywhere in Woodworth, if you have a Woodworth address, there is a tornado warning for you, and you want to be careful right now. You want to be seeking shelter, putting as much room between, or many walls between you and the outside as you possibly can. As this storm, that could be a little noise on the eastern edge there, but it's tough to say. I mean, this one looks to me like it's, I don't want to say tornado imminent, but it possibly is. I mean, this if we're going to see one in the life cycle, it's going to be as this kind of hooks around like that. So reflectivity shows the hook very well. If you are in Woodworth, anywhere in Woodworth, you need to be in the shelter now. If you're in Forest Hill, you're good. In fact, I think if you're like north of Tall Timbers, you're completely in the clear on this one, even though you may technically have, I'm sorry, south of Tall Timbers, not north, south of Tall Timbers. If you're south of that, you are looking pretty good. But this is a classic supercell structure that's heading right up over southern areas of Alexandria, Woodworth, over toward Latania, Lamourie, that area. You know, this could take a bit of a turn toward the right as well. So we have that storm right there with the tornado warning. Very evident supercellular structure on that one. We also have a tornado warning over Beauregard Parish, and then that severe thunderstorm warning in Grant. That one does not look nearly as significant. So let's see. All right, so tornado warning on this cell. Yes, there is another one in Beauregard Parish, but we're going to be sticking with this cell for a little bit. Can't call you. That's my friend who lives in Woodworth, who's a meteorologist, who is out spotting this thing right now. So I'm hoping to get a text update from him, but he's probably video and doing stuff like that right now. So that is a tornado warning there for Rapides. It looks like in that last frame, you can kind of see how we were curling that thing around. Now it looks like we're actually kind of cycling this up into Woodworth. Could be some very strong wind with that at the very least. So even if it's not a tornado, some straight line winds are going to be possible with this one. Also, some hail is likely occurring right now just over Castor Plunge Road. The worst of this between Castor Plunge and Watts Road, Bayou Clear. You're right under the hook, Nikki and Josh. So another few minutes, and this thing's going to move away. But if y'all are watching, please do update me and let me know you're safe. I need eyes on the ground on this one, and I hate the fact that it's coming to you and it's not something a friend is just chasing. But this storm continues with a tornado warning until 8:30. It's now 8:19. Yeah, tornado shelters, I wish we had more of those around here. So 2 tornado warnings right now. That severe thunderstorm warning on that cell, we're going to kind of just mention it and move on. But the 2 most serious things now are these 2 tornado warnings, one in Beauregard Parish, one here in Rapides Parish. And that is looking south. Okay, I'm going to go back to another camera here. I'm just doing this back here so I'm not just making you dizzy by moving things too much. I'm just looking out at the Alexandria camera here, just to see if I see something creeping in. I doubt I will, because here from this camera site, we're looking through all this rain and everything. So the only way we would see something is on the back end as it's moving through into the northeast. But lightning popping out there right now. Still some folks out on the roads. I don't love to see that, but I know it's going to happen. Storm relative velocity still showing that rotation right over Woodworth, right on the west side of 165 here. Again, right where pretty much, everyone lives in Woodworth, in these neighborhoods right down here. And then moving up toward the lakes area, our Timber Lake area, that's where this is going to be moving over the next few minutes as this continues to produce strong winds, possibly some hail, and has a warning for a tornado. Got to keep the big picture up, though, because we have 2 tornado warnings going on right now, one in Beauregard Parish as well. So that rotation down here. Let's go to the Lake Charles site and see what we're seeing on that. Yeah, I mean, there's some pretty decent rotation over Seal and Oretta, moving toward Juanita. And this is going to continue on toward the northeast. Let me hit play on that. And that one kind of looks like, as opposed to some of these that are turning right, this one's kind of turned left, and it's getting kind of pulled up toward the north. So that tornado warning continues over Beauregard Parish. This one, let's see, Adam is on it. That's my meteorologist friend. And I'm just seeing if he sees anything. And he sent me his location, which is literally on this one. So if there is something he's seeing, he's going to let me know. Don't have a video feed there, but he will let me know if he sees anything for sure. And right now what we're seeing is that rotation crossing 165, about to cross 165. And I'm going to hit play on his video here and see what I see. It's a little time lapse. It has some creepy looking skies for sure. He's looking up 165, and it looks like there's fairly visible rotation in the clouds with this, and that tornado warning continues for areas near Woodworth. Wind is picking up off Dan Triplett. Let's go ahead and go back to reflectivity, pause it, and show you where the worst of this is. And looks a little more ragged now, perhaps. Could be cycling as this storm is now crossing through Woodworth, the south side of Woodworth. If you're pretty much south of that red light there, right through town, the rotation, the strongest of that is going to be a little bit north of you over Timberlake subdivision and heading toward the northeast, toward Cloverdale, Inglewood, and the southern parts of Alexandria. And then it's going to move up, if it holds together, toward Colleen and down there into the eastern parts of Pineville. See if they have any sort of update on this one, on what their thought process is. 2 tornado warnings, one in Beauregard, one in Rapides Parish. And this rotation that's evident here is now about 1,400 feet above ground level. That tornado warning continues for 6 more minutes, and then we'll see what they decide to do with that. Because remember, we're not always going to warn a tornado. You don't want to warn a tornado after it happens. So you want to get that warning out before this stuff happens. And in this case, we do have that warning in place just in case we do see a tornado. And this storm here in Rapides Parish really looked pretty healthy there for a little while. Severe thunderstorm warning up in Grant Parish. I believe they're going to allow that one to expire, and they do right on cue. Yeah, severe threat. This is just getting started, by the way. I mean, we're going to go until 7 p.m., This is going to, out west, Sabine Parish, Vernon Parish. Maybe it ends, 3 or 4 o'clock there, 5, 6 here in Alexandria, 7 o'clock along the Mississippi River. But this is just the early morning stuff right here. Center of rotation is moving over Woodworth and will continue northeast over the next few minutes, likely crossing I-49 just north of LSUA. So that's that area right where 49 and 71 kind of come together around mile marker 80, 81, Sugar House Road, Phoenix Elementary. That area is where they're saying this is going to cross, and you can see that right here. We have 49 coming in from the south. Right there's 49. That's where this rotation's about to cross here. That's where 49 and I believe that's Sugar House Road right there. And then MacArthur comes down. That's where you get on, if you're going south on MacArthur and you get on 49 or split off to 71. All right, so tornado watch continues with 2 active tornado warnings. Looking at this cell right now just to see. Yeah, that rotation is looking pretty stout on this one. That's going to pass south of town here in Alexandria. It is passing right over Woodworth, and this is going to cross over, crossing over like the Timberlake subdivision, and then going to cross Interstate 49 from about mile marker 73 to 82 is what I'm looking at out of this one. I'm just looking to see if my friend has sent anything else who's out on this one right now. It's a tough one to see. Not seeing anything confirmed as of yet, so obviously good news, and not seeing any sort of signature on radar that would make me think otherwise. But there is still strong rotation. I'd love to see this one not produce. You don't want to start the day at 8 in the morning with tornadoes already touching down. So you see one thing here. All right, so just some rain here in town, about 1/3 of an inch here at the house so far. The thunder has been rocking and rolling, and then we have this 2 tornado warnings here. We have the one in Beauregard Parish, the other one in Rapides Parish, and the severe thunderstorm warning in Grant has been allowed to expire, been reduced to a special weather statement. Let's see. Show you where the strongest rotation is on this storm right now. Which looks like it's a little less than it was, at least. You can see there was some pretty clear rotation there. Could be cycling right now, so don't get too overconfident here. But that's a pretty good trend to see right there, as we had a pretty evident rotation that has since weakened. Let's look further up into the storm. This is from the Lake Charles radar. Maybe we're getting a little bit of hope out of this one. Still plenty of lightning with it. Whew, yeah, that's why we're hearing all that thunder up here in town, especially south of Alexandria. And we'll go back over to the closer in radar site here. But you can see still a hook, still got that kidney bean shape to it, but perhaps a little less impressive than it was 15 minutes ago. Heavy rain in Woodworth Lake Drive, Gene Ball Drive area. Yeah, you're underneath it right now, but fortunately, the rotation I'm seeing is not overly strong. So let me look at this one. That one's looking a little better too. Still seeing something in there for sure. Center of the rotation on this one is crossing Highway 27. This is the storm in Beauregard Parish. It's going to move through the woods east of Singer and cross Highway 171 north of Longville. So you can see 171 down the road there. And let's track that rotation. It's gonna move well north of Longville, the way it looks now up toward Carson. Might take a little bit more of a bend toward the east, but I would say in Longville it's gonna go just north of you. And then this is our severe thunderstorm, or our okay. So they're gonna take that tornado warning, make it a severe thunderstorm warning. So that is great news. That's going to be the Rapides Parish storm. They are going to allow that tornado warning to expire, and it looks like I believe that's what's happening right now. And that's going to go to a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see. Just trying to get the updated text on that, and there's your new warning there. Northeastern Rapides Parish. Doesn't mean we can't go right back to a tornado warning, but we're going to focus on the positive here, as we have a severe thunderstorm warning, which is somehow positive. At 8:29, this severe thunderstorm was located near Alexandria, moving northeast at 25. Wind gusts to 60 are possible. Locations impacted, all of them: Kingsville, DeVille, Ball, Labousse, Tioga, Pineville, Esler Regional Airport, Colleen, Alexandria, Holloway, Paradise, and Woodworth. You are still getting clipped by this, but this is departing quickly. And we still have our tornado warning going on down here over Beauregard Parish. Even the special weather statement's going on the Grant Parish storm, so some good news there. And again, that one looks like it's losing its identity just a little bit there. Still seeing it on the Lake Charles radar, so that's not great news since that is lower. They're going with a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. The storm strength and rotation has weakened over the last few minutes. Good stuff. So we are out of the tornado warning in Rapides Parish. We still have that tornado warning in Beauregard Parish. And hold on one second. I'm going to make a quick yell here, so I'm going to turn the microphone down. Okay, hold on one second. No, shh. Okay, we're going to go with that. We're going to go with the big screen here. Kristen said it was a little distracting, so we got this. All right, got the microphone up. We are good. Severe thunderstorm warning continuing. That severe thunderstorm warning for Rapides Parish goes until 9:15. Tornado warning down here over Beauregard Parish. That continues until 8:45. So 13 more minutes there. Let me see if I... Yeah, my friend on the storm in Woodworth, he's sending me time lapses and stuff, and we're not seeing anything showing up with that. Thank you. Oh, here. Oh, you're good. Come on in. I heard her awake, so I asked for coffee. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I turned the microphone down for a minute. That's why you couldn't hear me. This is going to be all day, off and on. So looking big picture here, let me take off the warnings for a minute and the watches and all that. Big picture, I'm going to go national mosaic here. Until this thing clears, we're going to be under the gun with some storms here. We did have that warning with that storm, the tornado warning. Still have a tornado warning on this one. Out to the west, we're going to be watching. We're going to be watching for more development in the open warm sector throughout the day. And now let me go back to regular radar. When I say regular, you can see how the data is much more high resolution and stuff, because this is going to be your radar sites. We have the one at Fort Johnson, one at Lake Charles, up at Shreveport, and then another one down in New Orleans. Lightning strike just hit a tree by our camper. That is not good. Yeah, these storms have a lot of lightning, but you can see this storm, as my friend who was chasing it said, it went from looking pretty decent to now pretty gross. And that's a good thing for us, because we don't want to see a storm that is sculpted and structured and showing signs of strong rotation. So that is down to a severe thunderstorm warning. You can hear it up here in Alexandria for sure. Still have the tornado warning going for Beauregard Parish. All right, storm in Beauregard is broadening out. If they do reissue it, it will more likely be a severe thunderstorm warning if they reissue it. That's good. So this one is becoming an if, not a definite on getting an update, a different warning out of that. But we're going to stick with it here. Just 1 second. Let me peek outside. I just want to take a look out here at my house, see what it looks like. I'll be back in like 5 seconds. Okay, just rain and wind, or rain and hardly any wind at all, I should say. So severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Rapides Parish. That tornado warning continues down here across Beauregard Parish. These storms are going to continue to the northeast. You can see, if you're just joining here, that thing looked really nasty about 20 minutes ago, big hook on it. Now that has kind of broadened out. We don't have that. So this, I'm thinking possibly after we get these two cells through the area, we might get a little bit of a break here. Let's go and take a look at the latest HRRR model. Yes, I know we have a tornado warning on that storm in Beauregard, but it's not looking impressive right now. So we're going to go over and take a look. Well, that's just a look at the camera where it's raining. Nothing much else going on here in town. So I am going to take you through this step by step. This is the latest run of the HRRR, and you can see over the next couple hours, not a ton going on. Once we get through these morning storms here, I think then early afternoon, things are going to really start to spice back up, and we'll get a few isolated cells out here. These are the ones we're going to be watching closely, those isolated cells. That's what we've seen this morning. And then as we go further into the future, 2, 3 o'clock, we're continuing to watch everything approach from the west. So you're going to have that big line. You're going to have supercells developing just ahead of that line and kind of merging in with it. And then it looks like, 4 o'clock, we're going to be getting rocked and rolled here across central Louisiana. And that thing exits by about 6, 7 o'clock. It's gone, and then it looks like a decent evening. So if you like want to go to dinner at 7:30 tonight, you're good. It's going to be gone, and then that cold front comes through. And let me tell you, beyond all this, not right away, but in several days, we're going to cool off, and we're going to stay that way for like 10, 12 days. So no severe threat on those days. So that is some very welcome good news. So severe thunderstorm warning continues on this cell here in Rapides Parish, though it looks weaker than it did. We have a tornado warning on the cell in Beauregard Parish, but it also looks weaker than it did. And you can see how we went from red and green kind of joining forces there to not much. And then this one here, same deal. It's kind of broadened out and weakened as well. So I think they'll probably just leave this tornado warning go for a few more minutes, and then at 8:45 that one will be allowed to go away, and we'll see what we end up getting with this severe thunderstorm warning here in Rapides Parish. But did anyone see any hail or anything? I'm looking, trying to keep up on the comments, but it's tough. Ooh, that's hot coffee. Yeah, this is going to be a daytime thing, so we're not looking for anything at night. I mean, it's all gone. So by again 7 o'clock, it's out of the eastern reaches. I'm talking like it's out of Faraday and Natchez by then. Probably about 5 o'clock here in Alexandria. Probably close the book on this around 3 or 4 here in Sabine, Vernon, and Beauregard Parish, where we've already seen a pretty active start to things. Hail on Duran Road. Okay, Elmer. All right, yep, Spitting and Rose Pine. That's the northern end of this cell that looks like it's trying to weaken. That's your that's the tornado warned storm that looks much less impressive than it did. Let's go and take you, because things are fairly unimpressive even with the warnings now. I'll take you through the SPC risks for today. Day 1 outlook, moderate risk for severe weather. That is level 4 out of 5, so that is a big deal. That's a rarity. It's something we typically only see a couple of times a year. And that moderate risk pretty much contains 10 of our 14 parishes, maybe Northwest Sabine, just missing out on that. But St. Landry, Evangeline, Allen, and Beauregard, you're in the enhanced risk, which is still a big deal. That's a level 3 out of 5. Hail outlook for today, I think isolated hail is possible. We've already seen that. I think probably most of that hail is going to be fairly marginal, like an inch in diameter, maybe a little bit more, and I think we've seen some smaller than that already. But the big story here is we have a risk for strong tornadoes as the wind shear and instability increase through the afternoon. I think the wind shear actually may taper. The speed shear is going to increase, but the directional shear might not be quite as bad as I'm hoping it's not quite as bad as I've been fearing, but the instability is going to compensate for that. So I do still think we have a risk for a couple of strong tornadoes today. There is also a 30% chance for severe wind within 25 miles of a point. And then we also have that tornado outlook. This is not giving you strength or anything, but 15% risk of a tornado within 25 miles of a point. That's a pretty high tornado risk. And then here in that yellow area, that chance is 10% within 25 miles of a point. So that's what we're looking at right now. This is just a broad brush, quick, sweeping through on that HRRR model, and you can see how everything comes through and moves out of our area by probably, again, 7 o'clock out to the east. This thing could, let's just go back and see where it's going to be clearing, when it's going to clear out of Sabine and Vernon Parish. Okay. So Leesville, probably by about 4 o'clock, things are going to start to quiet down. Sabine, maybe 3. Beauregard Parish, 4 o'clock. Should be getting out of here in Alexandria. Allen Parish, Grant, Wynn by 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock, it's going to be clearing Catahoula, LaSalle. It's going to be pretty much through everyone but Evangeline, St. Landry, and Avoyelles. And then by 7 o'clock, it all moves on to the east, and that is going to be moving away. They're expiring the Beauregard tornado warning, and they have removed the tornado possible on the severe thunderstorm warning here in Rapides Parish. So let's go back to radar and see if that has hit yet. I'm going to pause it. Okay, so that tornado warning right there is, they're not going to even reissue a severe thunderstorm warning on that. Let me take a look here, because this might give me a narrow window to jump out of here for a little bit and take a bit of a break on this. Rain just started in Gene Ball. On Gene Ball, let's see. Yeah, that storm's looking much weaker. So still a severe thunderstorm warning, still maybe some small hail, heavy rain, gusty winds, but I'm not seeing any sort of real rotation signature with that one. And I'm not really seeing it with that. And with the knowledge that they are going to take away that tornado warning, that it's going to be expired here shortly, I am going to take a break. I believe we went an hour and a half on this first one, and we're going to be doing that a lot today. So I'm going to take off for a bit here. I will see you back here, especially, if we have any warnings, everything's set to go live. I click a button, I'm there. So it won't take me long. I will be updating you throughout the day, and I will see y'all back here in just a bit.